So it is 6:05. We can go ahead and commence this meeting. Didamia, just so you know, we don't have enough people here in person today, so we haven't met quorum. But we're going to go ahead and proceed, just have more of an informal meeting without voting. So
Okay.
We can briefly go through introductions. I'll go ahead and start. I'm the chair of the Environmental Commission. I'm graduating from IU this semester with a GIS certificate and my environmental sustainability studies degree, and figuring out what I'm going to do after that still. So I'll pass to my left.
Awesome. I'm Alana. I am an O'Neill Fellow, researching for the Environmental Commission. I'm a first-year graduate student studying environmental policy.
Roger Roebling, Planning Services Manager. I'm not in school actually, so that's good.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you're on.
Thank you for being here, Ryan.
Commissioner.
As an theory, I'm an environmental engineer and commissioner.
Matt Caldy, Commissioner and Vice Chair. Connor Wright, sophomore at IU. Studying business and political science.
Megan Murphy, Commissioner, teach at IU in biology.
Excellent.
Should we do Didamia?
Yeah, Didamia, would you, sorry, I forgot you.
That's okay. I'm Didamia Whitney, and I'm a commissioner.
Great.
And Linda.
Linda, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Linda Thompson. I'm the EC liaison, but I'm not there because I have strep throat.
Oh, no. That's terrible.
Thank you for sparing us. So.
It is terrible.
So there will be no voting apparently.
Now, well, how many people do you have right now?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and not 7 people in person.
Oh, okay.
Do I count?
8, 7.
Yeah, Didamia counts.
Unfortunately not. According to
don't?
the rules,
I-
no.
I don't count.
Not a
Oh,
quorum.
I'm so sorry.
In person forum.
If we had in-person quorum, she would be able to vote,
Right.
though. So, but we're not voting because we don't have a quorum. So
I am very sorry.
it's okay.
Now, we've never not had a quorum, even when our population has been down.
Yeah.
I can't remember when we last had.
Anyways, hopefully we can charge through this. So let's see if we have anybody from the public who'd like to comment. I don't see anybody here in the room. All right, unless you have something to say. It doesn't look like anybody is joining us on Zoom either, so we can proceed to that. I believe, excellent, okay. So we will start on old business now. ECPC update. Linda, you said you just have a very quick update on that.
Yes. Mike updated the document that he had written, and he sent it around for comments. But last time I heard from him a few days, a week or so ago, he had not gotten comments, so he was prepared to vote on it in December instead of tonight, which I guess turns out to be a good thing. But he's still waiting. He still wants some comments.
From ECPC members or commission wide?
No, from everyone, I think.
Okay, okay. Well, that's our homework for hopefully let's try and get that done over the next week or two.
That's important homework.
Yeah, ECPC and this UDO draft is, one of the most effective things we can do. So starting December, we should move with deliberate speed on that. So that's that. Thank you, Linda. I have a very quick update on the Southern Indiana Sentinel Landscape Project. As you might remember, we had Dr. Christian Freitag here to present about that a few months ago. I had a quick meeting with him last week, and I just wanted to chat with him to see if anything new was going on with that project. They're already working with some of their first landowners to implement environmental programs with them. So the program is starting to happen already, which is good news. He said that the biggest challenge for the program right now is getting landowners on board. A lot of these people are farmers or in very rural locations, so might not have a lot of access to the information about how these programs could potentially benefit them with cost sharing programs. So he said it's like an old fashioned effort, just meeting with people, and it'll be very slow that way. But they are working with a GIS firm in Bloomington to create a website for the Southern Indiana Central Landscape Program, where prospective property owners who can benefit from the myriad of different ad hoc programs that are available to them. They can go to the website and it's all centralized for them, so that an individual can essentially type in their address and it'll zoom in to their property, and the list will show up with what federal and state programs they're eligible for. So that is not up quite yet, but it will be up soon. And he is expecting that to increase participation with the program. So aside from that, nothing is new. It's actually a pretty slow process. So if there are any big updates, it probably won't be anytime very soon. But I figured it'd be nice just to share that with you guys. That is it for the Sentinel Landscape projects, unless anybody has any questions would like to add anything on it. So we can move on to air quality working group. We had a quick meeting earlier this week.
Yeah, we met briefly Tuesday on Zoom. Just had a discussion, basically kind of reinforced that we were hoping the state will take the lead on air quality monitoring. That they'll expand their operations given the federal funds that are made available. I actually emailed IDEM to ask again if they have any plans of doing that yesterday, but I have not heard back yet. So what we did on Tuesday was we mostly discussed what it might possibly look like for Bloomington to try to take the lead. Where would we put a monitor that we feel is representative of more or less of the city? So just very hypothetical, discuss some locations, came up with other.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, came up with some other actionable questions, try to figure out if there's standards for distance from a building, distance from landscaping, height off the ground, that sort of thing. I've reached out to Professor Stevens at the O'Neill School and kind of asked him those questions. Also, the email was sent yesterday, haven't heard back yet, but I hope to. So it was very hypothetical, very early, just discussing what it might look like were we to be able to acquire funds down the road to purchase a monitor, and what action we might take if that's the case. So that's it for air quality.
Thanks for sharing that, Matt. I also was supposed to send out a quick digest of the meeting that we had, and I failed to do that in time. So I'll still, just for your reference, I'll send that out. I promise you that as well. So especially for you. So thank you for that, Matt. The next item is an update on the outreach working group. I believe that was going to be from Carrie, and she's not here with us this evening. So Linda, do you have anything on that? Did she touch base with you at all?
Yes, I have a little bit on that. Carrie came to the P&T office and went through a bunch of old brochures and fact sheets and things like that. And she put a number of them in one pile that said, let's keep them and use them and hand them out if we do a tabling event. And then she had another pile that was, we ought to probably talk about this one. She wasn't comfortable making the call herself. And so I think she was going to talk about those tonight, but that's going to be put off. So basically she just wants to make sure that the people who were going to help on that don't actually dropped the ball. She's sick tonight too. But that's why she's not here. But she wants to keep the ball rolling on that so we can have things up and ready for a tabling event.
Okay, thanks for that, Linda. I'm excited to hear in more detail from Carrie, hopefully in December about that. So, like you said, that could be really nice for us to have more relevant materials during some of our tabling events. So,
And there's other things to think about too, like we had a couple of banner tablecloths that have gone missing, and we might talk about having a table covering with our the EC logo on the front, or some poster to stand up, or there's other things besides just the materials that we could hand out, because every year that goes by, we kind of want to hand out less paper. So we can think about other more modern ways to table than just handing out brochures. So keep that in your mind too.
it could be nice to have like a official, legitimate, formal EC environmental commission like tablecloth or something like that. Perhaps
Yes.
we could, spend part of our budget on that.
And that's
Very limited budget.
we can do that, and we got one. We had a hand painted one by the wife of a commissioner, and then we got a vinyl or plastic or whatever it was, one that was like professionally done. And some of the EC members did not like that because of the contents of the product. So then we got another organic cotton sheet, and the fellow at the time painted it. And so, we have that, but it's certainly not very professional looking. So somehow, we need to think about having a professional looking thing that doesn't insult our sensibilities by what it's made from.
Well, yeah, we'll think about that. Does anybody else have anything to add about outreach? No? Okay. Linda, I'm gonna put you on the spot again about the heat islands effect.
Oh,
Our next item for new business, if you have
Yes.
anything about that.
that's all right. I've been doing quite a bit of research on the heat island effect lately myself. And I think I mentioned the last couple of meetings that I'm on on this task force to come up with a city plan for heat mitigation and preparation.
The BCOS task force.
Yes, but it's not all they initiated it, but it's not all BCOS members. There's health department and Red Cross and IU and other people, and me from the city. So there's other people on it. It's not just a BCOS thing, but they did initiate it. But now that the air quality group is kind of winding up, I've asked Alana to help do the research on the heat island on preparedness. And so she's excited about doing that, but she and I have not actually met on it because I haven't been in the office this week. So right now she has no direction, frankly. She's just kind of researching it on her own. And that's kind of where we stand at the moment.
Okay. Alana, have you found anything particularly interesting, or are you still?
I'm in the preliminaries. Linda also talking about the task force. They're talking about Upper Virginia, Richmond, Indiana, heat plan, which Linda's talked about, that she has more knowledge on. But I looked at some papers that look at environmental justice concerns as well. So that's like a different side that I hope to do, but I'm just having no direction for it.
Yeah, I know that the Environmental Resilience Institute has in the past worked with different municipalities throughout the state on like heat preparedness. There might be some like archive information through their website.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, Chicago has a really good GIS database of the island data, or like urban forestry data too. So Chicago's a really good city to kind of use as an example.
excellent.
Who's database?
It's like the city, it's the government,
What city?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Because they had back in the 90s. Really bad number of failed.
They might be
Right.
looking at data like on the website. Do you know exactly like where that is on the website, or have you seen it before?
Find it and send it to you.
Yeah.
So I've used it before for like.
Would be really helpful. Does anybody else have anything to add on the Heat Island flood? Matt, you almost raised it.
I mean, Heat Islands to me goes back to when I was a graduate student and taking advanced meteorology. It has significant even effect on localized thunderstorms, so it's change in Europe, Pacific Northwest. Can be a real killer.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you for your input on, thank you, everybody, for that, about the Heat Island effect. That is it for old business and new business. We can very quickly navigate through reports. Usually David or Dania does tree commission. Dania, do you have an update on that?
We haven't met yet.
Okay,
we
that's
need,
fine.
okay,
That's totally fine. Monroe County Environmental Commission,
They met and it was really brief.
okay,
They talked about the Heat Island Working Group and all of those wonderful things.
excellent.
But one important thing, they are looking for another commissioner and said pretty loudly, looking straight at me, we need another commissioner. If you know anyone who'd be interested,
Do you have any thoughts on that?
that I should share it with this wonderful group of commissioners here.
For sure.
It's
for
my
sure.
is
name.
that an elected
Okay.
position? Is that
No.
elected or appointed?
Appointed
Appointed.
county
Yes.
council, county commissioners, or
This is the County Environmental Commission,
or
and
who
so
appoints?
the answer
Okay.
to that.
Okay,
They basically said, find the application on our website and apply, anyone who's interested. And they were like, because actually they have a commissioner and county councilor who were both reelected just the night before.
Oh,
So
so
they've
they're
focused on the election.
losing a few spots. Okay. Well, good information. Thank you for that. Was there anything else for them, or is that kind of released?
That's the
Okay.
big one.
Great, well, thank you for that. BCOS, Dawn, you said that you had a chance just to listen in for a second, but it wasn't very accessible.
Very difficult to understand thing. I think the most substantive discussion was their discussion of adopting the UN's policies for as far as understanding actually what they were trying to say, the sound quality was so bad.
Well, that's, well, thanks for that. No problem, though. That's not your fault.
Otherwise, it's-
Yeah.
Our authorization,
No worries, thank you.
and expertise.
ERAC is usually David, and he is not here. So we can skip that one as well. I cover the Metropolitan Planning Organizing Citizens Advisory Council. I didn't attend their meeting, but I glanced through their notes and they did not really have anything of substance that falls within our scope. They really looks like they chatted about like signage and technicalities about like highway exits and stuff. So I don't know how much the bearing that has on our meeting this evening. So Friends of Lake Monroe, I believe, is also not meeting right now. And MC Iris, either Linda or Dave or Don.
Just.
I was at the last meeting, and when Don was still on his trip. And it was kind of a wrap up on the a little bit of a wrap up on the plant sale, but mostly it was what are we doing moving forward, talk about weed wrangles. And I think I mentioned last month that Calorie Pear is going to be the devil plant for 2023 again. And they talked quite a bit about seed gathering and seed starting for the 2023 plant sale. And that's kind of it. And, you know, it's kind of a slow time, so there won't be a December meeting. Don, did you hear that? There won't be a December meeting. So they won't meet again till January. That's about it.
One observation though is that I would make is it's very relevant, I think, to our wildlife corridor. I think that the condition around the Winslow Sports Park it's been my 3 years of being involved as part of the MCI. Wow, what a mess. Density of mature Asian bush honeysuckle is opposite anything I've seen so far.
I'll have to go assess that myself. I know that Jillian sent out kind of an all call to people about their MCIS is really focusing on that area over the next month or two, I believe.
Yeah, and
With that, like
unfortunately,
applicators.
like this week is gonna turn pretty cold.
Yeah.
And I was out there today, it was
Well, thank you for getting out there.
it's,
It really helps.
you know, just in the 2 times that I've been there. Compared to what I've seen in other parks. The density, it's not just the ABH, the honeysuckle. There's also privet, there's also autumn olive. Of course, winter creeper, it's like everything, and it also looks like the park department is used part of this landfill. Which is,
For brush or other materials.
there's a lot of debris dumped into behind one of the maintenance buildings. It's yeah.
Yeah. Well,
There's
thanks for
problems
that.
there, we're seeing.
Yeah. Linda, anything else from you about MCIS? Good.
Sorry, are you talking to me?
I was gonna say, before we finish, did you have anything else to add about MCIS or?
Yes, as Don said earlier, sometimes the audio quality is not very good. Sorry. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, that is it for our reports. Does anybody have anything to announce for commissioner announcements? Don?
I just was gonna say that overall, I was impressed by the only non EU place we visited was Switzerland, but I would Bloomington with the rest of the EU's countries that we were in. They're definitely doing more than we are doing here in the United States. And Linda and I talked with Linda and Cheryl Munson. I tried to ask local people if their satisfaction level and their concerns, and particularly what was interesting in talking with the bed and breakfast and hotel people that I was able to chat with, was that they were very aware of it and concerned because of seeing the impact of this year's heat wave and drought. On top of now the problem with staying warm this winter.
Yeah.
The Dolomite area people were particularly, their economy is heavily based on tourism, and as is elevating issues. And it was interesting to hear the parallelisms, concerns they had for water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I was impressed.
Thank you for that. Anybody else? Great, well, our meeting is adjourned at 6:32.